Thank you for tuning in to Tanaka TV, the best and future biggest fight channel on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like, that comment, that subscribe button. We're trying to get this channel to over 2K by the end of the year, and this channel cannot do that. We cannot do that without your support. So thank you for those who support this channel, and thank you for those who will support this channel in the future. I truly appreciate it. Now, hold on, wait. Gotta get some more. So today we're gonna talk about Dustin Poirier and should he retire after his loss against Islam. And I think that there are a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to the thought of if he should stay or not. Now, I think his case is a little bit different than a lot of fighters that we might have seen in the past that are even currently still fighting. If we're talking about Tony Ferguson, I personally think Tony Ferguson is one of those situations where he should probably retire at this point. I don't think that we're ever going to see even close to what Tony Ferguson was in the past. I mean, Tony Ferguson was on a what? He was on a multiple fight win streak, 11, 12, 13, 14 fight win streak. And then and now within the last, 3 years or so, maybe even 4 years or so, we've been seeing a massive decline in his performances. Now, Dustin Poirier, he is he's a completely different situation in my mind. I think even though he lost to Islam, even though he's had a really bad streak when it comes to trying to get the title, I think that he still has a lot of gas left in the tank. But I think what makes it difficult for Poirier, and he's been very vocal about this lately, is that he doesn't see himself getting back to the title contention. He doesn't see himself getting back into that title contention conversation. And I can understand why he says that. I mean, he's had he's tried to fight Khabib, Islam, Charles Oliveira. That's at least 3 off the top of my head chances that he's had to become champion. And unfortunately for him, he's fallen short. But on the other hand, he still looks really good. He did not get steamrolled by Islam Makhachev. He was very competitive. He still had a lot of snap in his shots. And I think that we didn't see the most productive Dustin Poirier just because I think that Islam brings a certain fighting style into the octagon that makes it hard for strikers to get into a groove. You have to consistently think about the takedown. And Islam's striking is getting better. As he's progressing in his career, his striking is getting better. I already think Islam's striking is better than what Khabib's was, which is crazy to say. And I said in the last video, I don't think Islam has achieved yet what Khabib has achieved. But if he keeps it up, he'll get there. But Dustin Poirier, in my mind, still has a lot going for him. He's, 36 now, I think he said, 35, 36. So he's at that age where I get it. But at the same time, he still has it. And he's been fighting for a long time. He has. I mean, he fought in the WEC days. And that was a minute ago. That was a while ago. And I think UFC fans, a lot of UFC fans, especially the new ones, don't even know what I'm talking about. They're like, WEC? WEC merged with the UFC back in, help me out here, people, 2000, probably, I'm going to say maybe 8, somewhere around there. I don't know the exact date, but it was somewhere around that time. He was fighting during that point. Dustin Poirier's been fighting for a while. And so, with that being said, he still looking good. And I don't know how the UFC is going to work. I think if Dustin Poirier is going to get another title shot, It probably won't be against Islam Makhachev. He will probably have to wait and see if Islam's going to stay champ for the next 2-3 years. I think that would probably be Dustin Poirier's best route as far as trying to get another title shot. But losing 3 in a row when it comes to title shots, that's a tough out. That's a tough out. And I don't think Dustin Poirier wants to go out like that, especially with him saying that, he came into the game wanting to be a UFC champ. So I think that's going to be a hard pill to swallow for him if he so decides to retire off of an L. Especially an L that was for the title. Can he live with that? I don't know. That's a tough one. And then there's one other factor that we need to think about, and that is Dustin Poirier's family. I think he's going to go back home and have a deep talk with his wife and with his children and see where things are. If they are against him fighting more, which I believe they probably are, I can see that being a tough decision. It's a tough decision, people. Going home and, having a beat up face, having injuries, you're probably not the same mentally and emotionally. That's hard. That's hard. I mean, I remember, and I don't know how many of you remember this, but I think it was BJ Penn after he fought Nick Diaz. And it was after BJ Penn lost, and he said, I don't know. Like, I can't continue to go home to my family looking like this and feeling the way that I do. It's taking a toll on me. He pretty much said something like that. And I think that a lot of fans don't take that into account when it comes to the fight profession. Is that, yes, it's hard on them physically, but when they go home, there's a mental and emotional battle that comes into play, especially if you have family, if you have a wife at home, you have kids at home. They have to look at that. They have to experience you going through those battles. And that is not an easy thing to do, I could imagine. And so I think Dustin Poirier has a lot to think about. As a fight fan, as a Dustin Poirier fan, of course, I would love to see Dustin Poirier continue on this journey of trying to become the undisputed champion. I would love to see that for him. But how much more does he have to give? What is his opportunity future look like when it comes to being back on title contention, on that title contention mountain? And if it doesn't look like an open door, I can see why he would be deeply thinking about retirement, because a lot of people don't want to fight just to be fighting, just to put on entertaining fights. They're trying to build a legacy. And sure, there are some people who love the fight for what it is, but there are some who are trying to build a legacy, do what they need to do, and get out before the game takes away their physical health, their mental health. That plays a big factor, and I think that's the most important factor to look at. And so I wish Dustin Poirier the best. Thank you for putting on the fights that you have. You really are a legend, and I know you've been hearing that from people, but I would love to see you as champion, but I would also love to see you leave the game and not have a deficit, a massive deficit on your health. That does truly come first. And so I wish him the best of luck. And comment down below, people, do you think Dustin Poirier has a chance, has another run at this title? Or should he just hang up the gloves? That's a tough one. So comment down below, people, what you think about this. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.